Hello, future millionaires. This is Aztec, and this is the CSC. Alright, this is the show where I give you quick and accurate TA in a New York minute with the possibility of a little bonus information. Today, the bonus information is going to be how to use the Fibonacci Retracement Tool on TradingView. And I'm making this video for Naboo from the Cardano Trading Telegram channel. If you guys ever want to pick my brain, talk with me, you can find me there. Now let's get into it. Basically, all you're looking for is a high and a low in a downtrend, and a low and a high in an uptrend. Swing high to low or swing low to high. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this chart. This is the Bitcoin to Tether one-day Binance chart. It's just one of my clean charts. And let's go ahead and start. So we'll take the Fibonacci Retracement Tool, and we'll actually start here on November 18th, and we'll find the low in this downtrend down here on December 7th. And we'll go ahead and extend the fibs out. Now basically this, we're in a downtrend, so we started from the top of this current structure and we moved down to the low down here. And we can go ahead and take a look at the candles past this low to kind of see if they're respecting the fibs that are drawn here. And you can see that they are. That's another way of kind of validating the fact that you've drawn your fibs correctly. So you can see here that this green candle the day after the low wicked off the 0.236 and closed down here. And then this candle broke through and sat upon the 0.236. And even this green candle here, you can kind of see that it tried to move up to the 0.382 here, and basically wicked off that, moved down. This candle closed under, moved down. This candle tried to move above the 0.236, but there was resistance here, and this candle found some support at the bottom here. And then these fib levels were no longer valid after this candle here, because there was a new low and another new low here on December 15th. So you would basically just erase this. You could keep on moving your fibs down, but essentially what you're wanting to do at this point is, we know that this is a new low here. So this was the low of this structure. Now past this low, what's the new high? That's this day. So you take your fib tool and you'd go from this high, because we're still in a downtrend at this point at least, and you'd go to this low right here on December 15th. And you can see here, you could go ahead and extend your fibs out for candles in the future. And you can see here that we started moving up, and here we have the 0 and the 1 of these fib levels in this downtrend from this high to this low. And these fib levels were no longer valid once this candle closed above this high here. So then we noticed that we were in an uptrend. So again, we take our eraser and erase that. And in an uptrend, you start from the bottom and you go to a high, so swing low to swing high. So we'll take our fibs retracement tool from the low to the high, and essentially, let's go ahead and just zoom out here. We could extend this out even to present day, because as you see here, these fibs, or these candles, have not closed either above this high or below this low. So these fib levels are still valid even today, being February 21st. And you can see that a lot of these candles found support and resistance, on these lines. A lot of support right here off the, see here, right here, the 0.618, and a lot of resistance right here, and you can see over here a little resistance off this 0.618 and support right here. So the candles are kind of validating the fibs that are drawn here, and basically that's how you use the fib tool. I mean, basically it's very simple. You just have to practice it. After you draw it, you want to go ahead and take a look at the candles after either the low or the high and see if they kind of validate the fib levels. But essentially, that's how you do it. Now let's go ahead and kind of recap. Let's take a look at the market now and see how we're doing. I mean, my stance hasn't changed since my last video here a day ago. I'm still looking for a retracement, and the reason why, let's go ahead and pull up my indicators here. Alright, zoom in. So we're on the daily. This is the Bitcoin to US dollar 1-day Coinbase chart, and let's take a look. I mean, basically we hit this fib here and we've started to retrace, as you can see with this candle. And if we take a look at our RSI, it is very overbought. You can see here we're sitting at 68 RSI, so it's also kind of pointing downward, so it looks very tired. It looks like it wants to retrace. If we look at our MACD, you can see that the histogram here was showing some nice buy pressure, this nice dark green, but it is starting to subside because this histogram is turning white. And the MACD does kind of look like it's kind of extended and maybe possibly wanting to look like it wants to move down. So it looks tired. And if we kind of zoom in, we look at the 4-hour chart and look at the same indicators. You can take a look at this RSI. It's sitting at 62. Still, it's overbought. Has a lot of room to move down. I'd feel a lot more comfortable for a bounce once this RSI hit 30. And this MACD, actually in the short term, we can see that this MACD actually crossed under the signal, and that the pressure is actually showing red. So there's red bars on this histogram, so there's selling pressure. And in the short term, you can see based off the 4-hour and the daily that the indicators are showing that we are a little tired. We do want to retrace. But what is interesting, again, based off my last video and this weekly chart, let's take a look at the weekly. We're actually seeing something kind of bullish, basically. You can see here that the MACD is crossed over the signal. We are showing buying pressure. And if we look at the relative strength index, or the RSI, it's sitting at 40. So there's a lot of room to move up still. So essentially what we could see is that the short term could provide us a retracement, and you could see a retracement down to the 0.382. And in the medium term, based off the weekly, you could see that we would possibly still have a chance to bounce or move up. But let's go ahead and just move back to the daily. Just to kind of clarify, we have this 0.382 right here, so this is a pretty significant fib. I could see that we can move down to this here. And if this wasn't enough for us, if we still needed to retrace a little bit more, I can see that we could move down to this white line right here. And this white line is basically just a line that I drew because it provided a lot of significance, a lot of resistance and support throughout the Christmas rally back here. So it's also, this white line is also the top of the descending wedge that I have drawn for past couple months. So this top line here, this yellow line going down, it's the top of this descending wedge, the bottom of the descending wedge being this line here. And since we broke past it, if we were to come down, the first support would be right here at the $3,800 mark, and the top of this wedge or this white line however you want to look at it, would be right around 3,760. So that's where I'm looking for Bitcoin to go in the short term. And based off the weekly, I'm possibly looking at a bounce off these areas here. But of course, we'll have to go ahead and reassess once we get there and see, what the indicators are telling us and everything else in the market. So yeah, guys, that's what I think is going to happen in the short term for Bitcoin, and that's how you use the Fib retracement tool on TradingView. If you like my videos, if you like what I'm providing you, please just give me a like, subscribe to my channel for more. That just shows me that you like what I'm doing. But anyways, that's it, guys. Take it easy. Never give up on the future of money.